A friend wanted me to talk about why meetup culture is so common in today's society. He says I examine how the way of life of standard America has changed, and you genuinely need to treat ladies awful. I knew that millennial culture changes, but I had no idea why I wasn't getting as many women as I used to. According to the book American Hookup, you won't get a woman unless you treat them badly and are emotionally alive. I believe that men need to be aware of the fact that these women are deliberately treating you coldly and manipulating you to be cruel and mean-spirited rather than playing hard to get. America has transformed. Please address this for everyone in Migtow who needs to know. If you are not as cold as Antarctica, American women will be below freezing. Therefore, let's discuss this man. He is referring to the fact that American women, who are a part of our culture, want you to treat them badly. They don't want you to be romantic with them. In this manner, we have witnessed and seen it happen. We produce videos on this topic. I made videos discussing this before. People grow up in a society where they are taught and indoctrinated you that you had to do the right things for these women and that you would get them, especially if you were a Generation Xer, a baby boomer, or a pre-millennial. You have learned that this was the absolute opposite of what was true. When I was in college, I remember gazing at all the women accompanying men on their big Escalades. I'm trying to act ethically. I'm trying to approach them, do whatever I can, take them out to dinner, and treat them right because I was careful. They didn't want any of that, even when I spent only $20 I got. They didn't want that nonsense from the good man. They desired to be run through by the same people who seemed to be running through everyone on campus. Therefore, you received contradictory messages if you were born during that time. The truth is that America became disinterested in love. The idea of sleepless nights in Seattle and pretty women bored the American people. A female movement emerged and advised these young women that they did not require that stuff. Also, you can give yourself away whenever you want. You can exchange all of that for the good men who will be waiting for you just before you hit the wall. They will always be there. Therefore, you are free to perform double backflips on Chad and Tyrone and will receive your beta male provider at the time you require it. Simply wait. Simply carry out whatever you want. And the message of love went wrong, which I don't like because I rarely watch romantic comedies. But the truth is that movies started to show women being more independent, not needing love, and going for Chad and Tyrone. Video models showed us that. The pretty women with the best bodies were all out there shaking it hard, and we were left with the question, what should we do? Should we sing rap songs and get tattoos to acquire women of this kind? That's what happens. Regarding his comment about treating women badly. During women's most fertile years, which are also the years when they are most desirable and probably the prettiest they will ever be. That's when most of Chad and Tyrone come to them. These particular men are within their reach. However, they do not want these particular men to be the good men who love them. They want to change Chad and Tyrone because they believe they have the power to do so. However, Chad and Tyrone rotate 5, 6, 7, and 8 different women, 8 of whom are the most attractive. They can get what they want for free from multiple women, so they don't have to fall in love with that particular woman. Therefore, when these women are currently venting on social media about the lack of attention they are receiving, all they want is for someone to bring them tacos. They only need someone to compliment them on how beautiful they are by liking their Instagram photo. They want the person who is already a bad boy to help her with those things. We are treated very coldly as good men for men who aren't Chad and Tyrone. We are treated as though we are not there. Do you recall the 80-20th rule? Women, every woman wants 20% of the men. So that leaves 80% of the men with the belief that they can treat others well and right. Of these men, 80% receive the rest. Because the other women think they can get 20% of the men, every woman believes it. Who exactly is engaging in the most copulation here? Only 20% of men do it. There was an article that says, how many men or how many accomplices does the typical man have? According to this, 80% of men may only have 3 or 4 partners for their entire lives. However, 20% of men have 100, 200, or 300 women in their lifetime. Therefore, when we consider that, they are not being romanced by the men who are good to women. They are the ones who are treating them with contempt. They are the ones ignoring their practice text messages. They are the ones hitting, quitting, and leaving. And now you're here, the monkey who wants to do well, treat them well, and give them as much free validation as possible. However, it is not enough. It is insufficient. They are the ones deciding on potential partners. We know that some women have to take what they can get, but these women, even the 5s and 6s, believe they can get and should be entitled to 20% of the men. Now, this is not all women, because we know that some women have to take what they can get. Many want men who are 6'2". They think that they are entitled to men who earn 6 figures and who already own property. And as a result of this, you will be disrespected if you are under 6'2", if they believe that your job does not earn 6 figures, and if you do not own property. Therefore, the meetup culture is now ingrained in our culture. Chad and Tyrone can meet up with anyone and everyone they can, and they can get them very quickly. Now, these ladies currently feel like eventually they can trade what they have at any time for another catch. They will be like, please accept my apologies, and sell you all kinds of BS. They are suddenly looking to sell it to someone. They will begin to treat you very well. If you're over 35, how frequently have you run into someone you've known for a while and just happened to bump into them at the grocery store? 8 years have passed since you last saw them. 10 years ago, you couldn't get anything from her. Now that she has a child with someone else, is a single mom, struggles to bag groceries at the grocery store, has run out of steam, and has hit a wall, she wants you. She wants to pursue you, but 10 years ago, you didn't stand a chance against her. She was incapable of even showing you respect. How frequently has that happened to you? Woman's plan is not made for love in today's culture, but essentially for free meetings and moving on. The issue is that men believe that there should be physical intimacy in a relatively short amount of time, while women believe that there should be love in a very short amount of time. However, women are giving up physical intimacy in the name of love, which is going to be as backward as they will lose. Some of you in this room adhere to the meet and dump philosophy, because at the end of the day, that's how they're treating you. You just treat them badly back. Any way you look at it, they treated you badly if you were less than 80%. They are now treating you badly by selling you something that they have willingly given away for free for the past 15 years, despite having been run through more times than the Holland Tunnel. That's our culture, guys, and I hope that clarifies some of your concerns. Let's talk about music in terms of the fact that the word love was probably used the most in music in the 60s and 70s. However, during the 1990s and 2000s, love was probably the 3rd, 4th, or 5th most frequently used word in music and movies. This is the culture we live in, strangely enough. Isn't that when the female movement began? We have to blame the female movement once more. Even though they don't want to admit it, we can put a lot of blame on the female movement. They have ruined our culture, so we can put a lot of blame on them. I can guarantee it.